Okay, here we go, my guy. I'll try to do this best I can, holding the camera and then holding this. So anyway, so I had to add, a little bit more bean. I told you about that. So let's see. I don't fill my whole hopper up. I added some from this nice Tanzanian washed coffee, some reserve coffee. Okay. So anyway, my cone is nothing special. It's just a Melita pour over cone, BPA free. Now, Melita, that is the name of an Italian lady who originally created the pour over method back in the day. So now I've thought about getting a ceramic one many times, or you can do ceramic, you can do glass. There's a Hario, there's a V60 pour over cones. There's so many different cones. And the difference is, depending on the openings, look at all those. Look how much I've used this. Look, I don't even wash this, bro. Look at all that coffee residue. But this one works. This one with the single hole has always worked well for me. But again, each one, there's different ones for different methods to produce different stylistic stuff. But anyway, I just went with the basic. I've used this for a long, long time. Thought about buying something new, but I never have. There we go. Another Father's Day gift. So anyway, we'll start off with our paper cone, paper cone filter. This one's gonna be hard. I always crimp the edges in the bottom. And sorry, the video is gonna look really rough here. Can't get it open. There we go. And crimping it just allows it to sit in there a little bit better. You know what I mean? This is my coffee spoon that I've used for a long, long, long time. Again, I think it's like a 2 tablespoon. Pull my coffee. I always give it a little tamp like that. Get those grounds in there. Stir them up a bit. So I do a healthy 1 scoop. 2 scoops, and sometimes, depending on the coffee, maybe add just a touch more. But anyway, so that's kind of what that looks like. And then again, this is what I use, man. This is just, I think I got this at Target. I did. There it is. It's a 2-cup glass thing, and it's got the little lip, the pouring lip. That's what's important. Now, many people, purists, will be like, you've got to get a gooseneck kettle. This is our kettle right here. We use it for tea. We use it for all kinds of stuff. And I usually go, for this one, I'll go right at the 1.5 cup mark. 1.5 cup mark. Now, if you can add more water, kind of to dilute it. You can do less water, for more stronger. And the same thing with adding more coffee beans or less coffee beans. But the trick for a pour over is you don't want to just dump all the water in. You want it, and this is why people use a gooseneck kettle, because it's a nice little steady stream. And so I've kind of perfected this. I'll go real slow. See, I do a little circle. You wet the beans, you don't want to get the coffee. Hold on. I'll let it breathe a little bit. See the bubbles? The carbon dioxide breathing off. And it lets it go in there. You don't want to pour it on the water on the coffee filter. You want the water on the beans. Slow. See how just a nice, slow, steady, just to coat the coffee. I mean, you can buy a gooseneck kettle. They're not that expensive. I actually found one on Facebook Marketplace, brand new for $20. I may buy it. But this works just as good. And then we wait. It takes about 3 minutes maybe. Oh, I smell it. It's already smelling good. But what happens is, so here's another thing. See how that water is just sitting there, and as it's draining down, those beans, or the grind is in that water and it's brewing right now. Just like if you have, a regular coffee maker, it pours the water in and it fills it up and then it goes down. That's what's kind of going on right now. So I maybe have went a little fast today. I mean, you can do it slowly, slowly, slowly if you don't want the grounds, percolating in that water, or you can do it just, and that's what brews it. This also is the science behind a French press. If this was a French press, after about 3 to 4 minutes, I would take and I'd press all the grounds down and pour the coffee. But those grounds are still in there. So I'll be taking this and throwing it away, leaving coffee by itself. But the French press, the grounds are still at the bottom. So if there's water in there, it's still extracting that coffee from the grounds. That's why you can get that second or third cup of a French press is going to be pretty strong coffee. Aunt Tammy style. And I do, two tablespoons with a cup and a half, because almost all of your kitchen cups are about, almost 2 cups worth of coffee. That there's probably about 16 ounces. Very rarely do we drink coffee from an 8-ounce cup. You might, kind of dainty like that. Look at that, man. And so, yeah, at the end of it, you're going to have, sometimes you'll see it, like I poured it a little too fast today, and these grounds are on the side. A lot of times you'll have it, well, we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be, all coagulated there at the bottom. A lot of times I like to do it slow enough to where instead of it just pooling, it sits down there and you're going to get a nice little level coagulation of coffee grounds. But also with the single hole, sometimes the extraction goes a little slower and the water does sit up like that, which is okay. It's still a great cup of coffee. This method here probably takes the longest, but it's worth it, man. So worth it. Look at that, see? Now I could throw it away right now. This is fine. I just want to get that extra bit there. But you see how it's formed just like a nice little bed of coffee grounds? That's what I like. There we go. And then, voila. There it is. Tanzanian fresh ground coffee. All right, man. Gonna go see Tegan play some tennis. She got a tennis match today. Megan's out there by the pool. So it's a gorgeous day here, man. Look at this. Look at the sunshine. It's like 80 something degrees, I think. So see if you see the palm trees out there. No? Oh well. It's all good. Hope you have a good Saturday.